Chapter 1 AG Wolf of the Ninth Avenue. A wireframe T-Rex is running. The Tyrannosaurus rex, a carnivorous reptile that reigned on Earth during the Cretaceous period, about 67 million years ago. The largest ever to be recorded was 13 meters long and weighed 9 tons. A dinosaur. But what was running here was a slightly different creature from what paleontologists had theorized based on fossil findings. This creature is much smaller than the T-Rex, and yet its forelegs are remarkably developed, and its 3 claws are sharp enough to tear apart its prey's flesh. Tyrannomon. Adult level. Dinosaur type. Data species. Its wireframe 3D body is covered with skin textures, mapped to bring about additional texture. The pseudo-red T-Rex creatures run. They were herding their prey together. One chased, another stalked, while the last one laid in wait. It was a highly intelligent, coordinated group hunt. Gradually, their prey would be trapped, drawn deeper and deeper into the tunnel. When the claws of the approaching Tyrannomon were finally about to capture its prey, with an ear-splitting roar, a huge square object passed by them at breakneck speed. It was a subway train, a wireframe train. The Tyrannomon, forced to pull back to dodge the hurtling subway, could only see vermilion, the color of its tracks marking the route. The train's destination display showed a mysterious string of characters in a language that looked both familiar and unknown. They were not in a jungle of ancient times, but a concrete underground constructed with line drawings. The 3 Tyrannomon resumed chasing after their escaping prey. They turned off at a branch in the tunnel and went deeper underground. The sound of feet slapping through the water. This road led to a vast sewer system. It was so dark that nothing could be seen, not even the tips of outstretched fingers. But the Tyrannomon were aware of their surroundings. The stench of filth from stagnant winds. The footsteps of prey fleeing through the channel. They could sense the very air around them. The Tyrannomon lying in wait screamed. A tornado suddenly formed out of nowhere, and a column of water sent the Tyrannomon flying. Thrown off balance, the Tyrannomon fell on its back into the waterway, its belly exposed. The shockwave that followed came from close range, delivering an unexpected but powerful finishing blow. The Tyrannomon was silenced by its prey's retaliation, and static around the wound on its red skin spread. A pop-up billboard with a 3D advertisement. The store's mascot, a kabuki-like character with its face, covered in heavy Kumadori makeup, was advertising a new burger with 4 times more meat than any other burger on the market. Wonder if there are any good part-time jobs out there. AG Nagasumi took up a spot at the 2nd floor counter of the fast food restaurant, lingering there with a soft drink that he got with a coupon. With smartphone in hand, he skimmed through the topics of the social networking site Grim. Grim is a pan-global communication tool. In addition to basic short message, voice chat, video, and live streaming functions, it also maintained various communities based on group channels. Grim probably had the highest number of users among all social networking sites. Its most distinctive feature was that it formed a single economic zone by serving as a financial tool, with its cryptocurrency, DC, also known as Digicoin. However, it was also half illegal. Tools cost a hell of a lot of money, and I'm gonna have to learn how to actually code on my own rather than outsource. Oh shit, chip prices are rising again. Guess my business is about to go into red ocean. Business was full muttering like that. Grim is a must for freelancers like AG looking to make money. as it serves as a venue for information gathering, private sales, and crowdsourcing. Grimm is essentially a republic in the network that is based on an entirely new set of values. So to speak, the scale of its economy is such that it now threatens nations with major powers in the real world. A breeder is a bit too much for me to handle. I guess capturing for collectors is the quickest and easiest way to make money, but in order to be a full-time hunter, I'd need a sales channel with customers. A black Agumon? 100 million DC for its capture? AG looked hungrily at the job request. Agumon is the name of a data type that was traded by codecrackers like AG, undocumented workers in the network community who frequented Grimm. Agumon Black must be alive and unharmed. The dinosaur-shaped silhouette was accompanied by details and a note in the job description. 100 million DC is more than 100 million yen, right? That was more money than AG could imagine. Probably enough for him to live for 10 years without working. However, as he perused the replies of the original post, he immediately deflated. All of the comments were either filled with abusive words, prankish, or plain begging for money. Grimm was a lawless place. It was the network equivalent of a garbage dump. This must be some kind of urban legend or something. There's no way that 100 million is real, and besides, it wouldn't be called Agumon if it was black. What the? My Tyrannomon number 3! He raised his voice without thinking. A group of high schoolers on the same floor glanced at AG. Until last year, AG had been wearing a high school uniform just like them. Like them, he lived a life of mindless ease, chatting about nothing important, with no goals in mind, no worries in the future. Fun days, with no real sense of purpose. AG stopped swiping his phone and used his other hand to touch another gadget on the table. It was handheld sized, with a monochrome LCD screen and control buttons. At first glance, it looked like an electronic toy. On the screen was a pixelated character, looking like a tiny dinosaur-like creature. Tyrannomon. Its name was displayed, but this one had fallen to the ground and had X's for eyes. I was so busy looking for a job that I blew all my money away. Stupid, stupid, stupid! AG hit his own head repeatedly. The other two Tyrannomon, number 1 and 2, looked at him across the tiny black and white screen. They appeared troubled, as though awaiting instructions. Please, you gotta do this. I'll go broke otherwise. AG used the gadget to replace the downed Tyrannomon with another one. If you don't capture the target, you get no food. Or rather, if you don't capture it, no food for me for a month. The high school students must have thought he was a weirdo that got too serious about video games. They raised their eyebrows and left their seats to get away from him. But this wasn't a game. This was a serious business. AG is a code cracker. A hacker is someone who possesses outstanding computer skills, but code crackers are hackers who are willing to engage in illegal and gray area activities. Crackers were more of a jack of all trades within networking communities. Set tool settings to capture, reassign target to Madoki's Betamon. You're about to regret underestimating Cracker Fang, aka AG Nagasumi. Execute command and go. With a click, he pressed the execute button. The Tyrannomon on the monochrome LCD screen vanished. They had a job to do. All that was left now was for AI to capture the prey specified by the tool. After downing his drink in the soggy paper cup, AG began to browse through Grimm again.